I would hate for you to waste your valuable vacation time in a hideous line like this. There's such a better way to travel. You can easily avoid a lot of headache and save a lot of time by booking your tickets ahead of time or simply jumping on one of our tours. Remember, there's two sorts of travelers, those who stand in line and those who don't. Whether you're a religious pilgrim or just crossing something off of your travel bucket list, you probably have dreamed of this very moment where you're standing in front of one of the greatest churches in all of Christendom, St. Peter's Basilica. I'm Angel Castellanos for the tour guide, and today I'm going to give you all the secrets and all the information of how to have the most epic time right here at the Vatican Museums in St. Peter's Basilica.
While Vatican City is an independent country within the borders of Italy, today it's part of the 2,000-year grand history of Rome in the Western world. For billions of devout Christians around the world, it's their religious capital, is home to the Pope, and holds a special place since it was built around the 1st century grave of the first Pope, a disciple of Jesus. For curious travelers, it is a treasure trove of art and architecture dating back to ancient Rome, but also featuring an all-star list of some of the greatest artists known to mankind, such as Raphael, Michelangelo, Botticelli, and Bernini, just to name a few. Vatican City is located in the western part of central Rome on the other side of the Tiber River. It's a solid 20-minute taxi ride from the Spanish Steps or the Colosseum. If you're staying in the historic center known as the Centro Storico, allow 15 to 20 minutes to get there. The closest metro stop to the Vatican Museums is the Ottaviano stop, which is on line A. From the stop, it's about a 10-minute walk to the entrance of the museums.
So if you're taking a tour of the Vatican Museums or have tickets, you want to make sure that you know that this is the entrance. So make sure that your taxi or Uber drops you off right here as opposed to the Basilica of San Pietro. If you do that, they'll drop you off around the corner, and it's about a steep 20-minute walk to get here. Also, the metro does come here. It's the Ottaviano stop, which is again around the corner, and you'll have about a 10-minute walk up the street. But you see, this is the entrance here. Here you have groups who have a privileged entrance, and just to the left you have everyone who is queuing up, wasting their time having to purchase their tickets because they didn't do it ahead of time. The meeting spot is right next to Cafe Vaticano, so I have to cross the street here, and this is where I'm meeting my group.
Vatican Museum tickets are €20, granting access to all museums, galleries, and the Sistine Chapel. The museums are open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., with last entry at 5 p.m. Starting March 1st, the hours are extended on Fridays and Saturdays with opening hours until 8 p.m., with final entry at 6 p.m. The museums are closed for a variety of different holidays, so check their website for closures. The best strategy to minimize crowds is to arrive first thing in the morning or after 3 p.m. in the afternoon on a weekday. Wednesdays are less busy due to the Papal Audience. Fridays and Saturdays tend to be the most crowded. With about 6 million visitors each year, remember, never show up without booking your ticket or tour well in advance. That's just crazy. To streamline the whole experience, you can book a tour with us which includes your ticket and a passionate licensed guide. There's a variety of private and small group tours available on our site, including Rome in a Day and the First Privileged Entrance tours, just to name a few. See our website for more details. Vatican City, the world's smallest independent state at 44 hectares or 0.17 square miles, is dwarfed by New York City Central Park, which is 8 times larger. Yet its 54 galleries span 43,000 square meters, which is 460,000 square feet. So bring comfortable shoes for sure. Stay tuned and I'll give you the formula of which areas and artworks are the must-sees and what you can actually skip.
So we've made it inside of the Vatican Museums, gone through the security check. Remember, you will go through metal detectors. If you have a huge backpack, you'll have to leave them in the baggage deposit.
The Vatican Museums, opened since the 18th century, began with a collection of Pope Julius II in the 16th century. This recommended route covers the important works found in the prominent galleries, such as the Pio Clementino Museum, the Candleabra Gallery, the Map Tapestries Galleries, and the Borgia and Rafael Rooms found in the Renaissance wing, culminating with the Sistine Chapel. Since we'll be spending 3.5 hours in the museums, we're going to skip the Egyptian collection and the Etruscan room. If you're a lover of art, you may want to think twice about skipping the Pinacoteca or the Paintings Gallery, which houses works by Da Vinci, Caravaggio, and Raphael. One of the first things you'll see once you come up the escalator after the entrance is the terrace with epic views of St. Peter's Dome designed by Michelangelo. From the terrace, you'll enter what's called the Pinecone Courtyard, which is nothing short than a history lasagna. There's a 2,000-year-old bronze pine cone in a Renaissance-era courtyard designed by Bramante with a modern sphere within a sphere. Next is the Pio Clementino Gallery, which is where Pope Julius II began the collection with classical statues spanning 2,000 years. You'll definitely see Nero's bathtub, and your guide will share fascinating tales about Michelangelo studying the Belvedere torso and the Laocoon, setting the stage for the Sistine Chapel frescoes. From there, you'll take the long quarter-mile march through the classical statues in the Candleabra Gallery, leading to the most remarkable tapestries you've ever seen, then followed by one of the most over-the-top galleries as far as decor goes. The Map Gallery has gigantic frescoes of maps that were the official maps from 1582 until the 19th century.
I'm getting to enjoy all the great artwork with my passionate guide in a space where I can take everything in, very limited crowds. I mean, look at nobody around me.
The grand scale of paintings continues in the Renaissance wing, with the Borgia and Medici rooms followed by the jaw-dropping Rafael Rooms. These rooms in the Vatican showcase the darling of the Renaissance, Raphael, who embodied the era's art and humanist ideals in stunning frescoes. Before you know it, you'll be at the grand finale, the Sistine Chapel, which is home to Michelangelo's breathtaking ceiling and Last Judgment. This is the Pope's private chapel and where every Pope has been secretly elected under lock and key since 1492. Unfortunately, we don't have video to show you of the Sistine Chapel because video, photography, and even talking is prohibited in the sacred space. So after visiting the Sistine Chapel, which is the grand finale of the Vatican Museums, you'll be guided to a connecting entrance into St. Peter's Basilica without having to wait in that monstrous line or go through security again. This cut-through will save you about 15 minutes from having to walk around the Vatican City walls. Unlike the Vatican Museums, no tickets are required to visit the Basilica. Entry is free, but the Sistine Chapel is not included since that's part of the Vatican Museums. The Basilica is open every day, but closed Wednesday mornings for the Papal Audiences. Tickets to the Dome are sold separately, and Mass times do vary. Check the Vatican website for various Mass times and celebrations. There are two ways to see the Pope in St. Peter's Square. The papal blessing, known as the Urbi et Orbi blessing, happens Sunday at noon. The general audience with the Pope is on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Tickets for the general audiences get you a better seat, but aren't necessary. If you want to visit St. Peter's Basilica on a different day or just want to come back for more, don't worry, we got you. I recommend that you come early to join us on our guided dome climb, which includes access to the Basilica.
So when you visit St. Peter's Basilica or climb the dome, you definitely have to go through a security check, so be prepared to go through metal detectors. And the great thing about jumping on our tour is that we get in line super early, so now we're avoiding this huge long wait. You can see the line stretches all the way across the square. So there definitely is a dress code for St. Peter's Basilica and for the Sistine Chapel. So be sure to have your shoulders covered, your knees covered, dress modestly, dress as if you're going to your grandmother's house and you don't want to offend her in any kind of way, because after all, this is a place of worship and you want to be respectful, and it would be a shame for you to come all this way and not be let in because your shorts are too short.
Whether you're a religious pilgrim or a curious traveler interested in the art and architecture of the greatest church in Christendom, there is no doubt this megamonument represents the glory and splendor of Rome's 2,000-year domination over the Western world. For the 2025 Jubilee Year of Hope, the Vatican anticipates 35 million pilgrims in Rome, occurring every 25 years since the year 1300. This special year is marked by the opening of the Holy Jubilee doors, a tradition at St. Peter's since 1499. When you enter the Basilica, a masterpiece is located in the first chapel on the right. Michelangelo was only 24 years old when he sculpted his first major work in Rome. The Pieta, which depicts the Virgin Mary holding the body of Jesus Christ after the crucifixion, is renowned for its exquisite craftsmanship and emotional depth. It's also the only piece that bears the signature of Michelangelo.
This magnificent piece of art behind me is a transfiguration by the Renaissance master Raphael, and as soon as you walk up to it, you realize it's actually a mosaic. That's because all the pieces of art inside of St. Peter's Basilica are mosaic replicas. The originals are in the Vatican Museums, most of them in the Pinacoteca Gallery. So behind me is the centerpiece of St. Peter's Basilica. It's the high altar, which is topped with Bernini's baldacchino, and several stories below is the grave of the person who this whole church is built around, St. Peter. Well, that's it for our time here at St. Peter's Basilica and the Vatican Museums. I'm Angel Castellanos for the tour guide. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and smash that bell so you can find our next video. Happy travels.